I was thinking of something. What if that dream that we have, well, I'm going to speak for myself. The dream of falling down into this dark black hole into the abyss, but say you never landed, so you just falling down. And normally it happens, of course, when you sleep, when you dreaming. That's how it's been with me. I haven't had it in years. But I used to have it every so often when I'd be asleep and I'm falling down this endless dark black hole, okay? And I'm thinking, what if that's the rabbit hole? And what if that's when you are having your spiritual awakening, like you end up being unalive? Like when the last time I had it, I actually landed on the bottom, but I knew I was dreaming. Like as I was falling, like this is the last time, this is years ago. So as I was falling the last time, I knew I was falling. Like I eventually was like, okay, this is a dream. Like I felt it while I was in the dream. Like, okay, here I go again, falling down this black hole, And so I imagine a soft cushion. I imagine like, okay, every time I keep having this, I keep waking up before I land, before I, hit the bottom. Every time I had this, I always wake up before I hit the bottom. So I said, this time, like something came into me. Then I would realize that I was falling. I was having it to dream again. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna imagine a cushion. Cause I said I'm gonna land on this bottom because I'm just like I don't want to keep falling, endlessly falling. So I imagine a soft cushion. Okay, I imagine a soft pillow, a soft cushion. So as I'm falling, I'm imagining it and I actually landed. I actually landed safely and softly. And then I woke up. Because I'm like, oh, okay. And like I said, that was years ago. So now I know I thought about this like a couple of years ago too, like 2 or 3 years ago. But now it's coming back to me. So I guess somebody probably need to hear this. Or I need to hear this myself. So I'm thinking that was like the rabbit hole. Meaning, you know how like a lot of people, how it's a lot of different rabbit holes, and be like, oh, about to go down that rabbit hole, and be like, the rabbit hole is deep, and you keep going and going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny, the rabbit hole. Oh wow, okay. Oh, and look, the Playboy Bunny. Follow the black rabbit. But anyways, that came from the Matrix, but it was follow the white rabbit, but this is a black rabbit. Okay. But anyways, the Energizer Bunny, the rabbit hole. So you keep going and going and going. Wait, what was I saying? Um so yeah, so basically I'm thinking that was like a rabbit hole, and I hit the rock, I hit the bottom. It was soft cushioning, soft landing. I'm just like, okay. So that got me thinking now, like, what if that was like a spiritual death, I guess, but I landed safely. So I'm thinking a lot of people, like I said, after that, I didn't have that dream anymore. I wasn't falling. So I'm thinking that was the beginning of being alive again, to knowing the truth. Because when you go down a rabbit hole, you on the search, or you on your way to find the truth, to get to the bottom of things, to get to the source, to know how everything started, or the question that you want to know. You get into the source and stuff like that, the rabbit hole. So um yeah, so the spiritual awakening, um yeah, I believe like once you have that and you land on the bottom, hopefully safely, you land on the bottom safely. I think that's your recoming alive. You died in the spiritual, but then you back alive. If that makes sense, that's like your spiritual awakening. I ain't even gonna say die. It's just like you get awoken up. You landed on the bottom and you just, I have a spiritual awakening. Let me start going to different paths. Your mind is open now, because you you unalive all them thoughts that kept you trapped. You opened your mind up. You opened up a new thing in your brain to have you go different routes, to think about different things in a spiritual way, and not just be cookie cutter. This is what I learned ever since I was born, and being in church and being in Christianity. It's like you have that awakening. And your mind is like, yes, you awaken, you unlock different things in your brain. So instead of keep constantly having that dream of you falling down a rabbit hole or falling down a hole and never landing, I mean, that's you getting close to something. I guess they saying, hey, yeah, you tapped into something. So tonight you're going to dream about falling in a hole because you went to another level. You unlocked something. But once you hit that bottom, again, hopefully safely, I think that's when everything is just going to, wow, you know, and awakening, you're going to start seeing more things because you have awakened. I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. I mean, that's what happened, to me looking back on it. Like, yeah, like I said, I haven't had that fallen dream in years and years, and I used to have it consistently. I can't remember how many times, but I know I had it quite a few times. And I'm just like, oh, I had the, I'm talking to myself, be like, oh, I had that dream again when I'm falling, and it's constantly falling in this black abyss. I'm just falling, and now I don't have it anymore. So I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining. So yeah, so that's just something to think about. All right.